everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer. This is going to be a video where I'm going to take this little horse that I found. It was put out for trash. I was at my dad's and the neighbor had this out on the curb. I know the people, they are a clean household. It does need wash though, so I'm going to get out my Bissell Pro and wash it. A lot of my videos center around things that I'm doing around my house that need done. This isn't something that needs done. But I think that with Christmas coming up, I thought I would attempt to turn this into like some type of a carousel horse. Now, I did go to the thrift store and found this lamp, which I'm going to take apart and hopefully use. At the same thrift store, I found a curtain rod. That must be out in my shop still outside. But I thought between the three things, I could rework this with a little imagination, and I'm going to take you along and show you what I do. First things first, I'm going to get my Bissell out and clean it. Okay, Lucky is all cleaned up. I'm really happy with how white his hooves turned out and the fur around here. It was a little dirty. It was sitting out at the curb. I don't know how long, but I'm going to go ahead and let him dry thoroughly and pick back up on this project tomorrow. Okay, so first I'm going to be disassembling that and painting these pieces. I think I'm going to do like a white because I don't want it to be too crazy. So I think I'm going to paint everything white and then maybe tape and I bought some like silver glitter that I might try to do in a stripe around it. So that is the next step. Okay, what I ended up doing was taking that curtain rod, sanding it down a little bit so the primer and paint will stick. And then I ended up, there's that rod that was actually in here in the base, and I had to make that hole a little bit bigger. So what I'm planning on doing is attaching this. It's hard to do and film, but I'll be screwing that on, taking it, it's raining and snowing outside, sleeting, if you will. So I'm gonna attach this and take it outside and give it a coat of this primer. I'll probably end up painting it white after that too. I'm gonna have to figure out how this horse is put together and get Lucky loose. I'm gonna be cutting that off. Oh, you know what? It looks like these just twist. Yep. So that just twists. Whoop. All right. Put all these things aside. You never know when something like that could be useful in a future project. And it sounds like, hopefully this is a wooden block underneath there because I'm going to probably have to drill through the entire body to then slide it. And at least that's what I'm hoping to do. And then slide it on to the stand over there. So here Lucky is on my bench. And I was able to just kind of take this first wooden rod out. They're attached. Okay, see there's a screw there. Things like that, I think that is probably made. I don't know that I could take that out any further. That goes all the way through. I don't think I'm going to mess with that. I will try to incorporate that into the design. Maybe I'll shove some things in there and have like some, I don't know, some greenery hanging down. But there's always a way to camouflage things like that. But these definitely would have been in the way. So we're going to take these out. I gotta figure out how to get these are either gonna come out easily or I'm gonna have to go get a reciprocating saw and cut them off. Okay, got it out. Okay, this Lucky's head almost seems like it is kind of drooping. So I know I have some fiber fill. I'm gonna try to get in carefully through there and kind of beef that up. I bet like over time, kids probably sat on its head and mashed it down. So I'm going to see if I can't put some fill or something in there to perk that up. Lucky's getting a facelift. Okay, we're coming along. Okay, so I'm out in the cold. I'm going to attempt to paint before it starts sleeting again today. The part I've taped off, that'll be all like glitter accented. I'm going to spray paint that too, and the finial, just in case I'm going to use that base instead. I have a feeling with the weight of the horse, I might need something more substantial. Ooh, wow. I kind of put Lucky up on just that bottom part before I attach this. And I know for him to be kind of balanced, or her, or whatever it's going to be kind of balanced, I'm going to need to drill a hole in this vicinity. I thought there was like a hard plate on the underside, and there isn't. So I might have to perform a little surgery and somehow slip something in there. I'm not quite sure. And I'm also at this point not quite sure. This was too low because I considered that, and I looked at it and I think it was too low. So I hope this is going to work. I'm hoping to mount this horse here somewhere. I'm going to have to probably shoot some brad nails and glue this a little bit better. It's on that threaded portion. These threads are in here, but it just doesn't seem like it's seating as tightly as I'd like it to. So I'm probably going to shoot a couple brad nails in there. And I think Lucky's going to have to like balance here. So I'm going to have to put something around some type of a collar. So that when I slide it on there, it'll stay. So these are all things I got to figure out as I go. But for right now, I think I'm going to slice this open right here and drill a hole. I'm going to use one of my spade bits, and it looks like 1.25 inches is about the size I'm going to need. I thought this was wood. It's plastic, so I don't know what I'm going to get into. Hollow. Okay, let's try to go through the other side. That's really hard to line up. Sorry, Lucky. Oh. All right. Whew. Qualify as a veterinarian now. Okay, this is not pretty, but if you can kind of see into there, that bottom hole is really rough. It's just hard to get to. Here's the top one that hopefully this will go through. I'll try to get the debris out so it doesn't rattle around too much. Here's a dry fit of what I've got going on so far. I actually think this pole's a tiny bit too long, but as you can see, it's actually kind of holding because I cut that hole at 1.25 inches, I believe it was. And so it is really nice and snug onto that. So however you choose to solve this problem, that's up to you. What I'd like to find is something like this that just could kind of be like extra protection in there to hold it up. I might end up drilling holes. I really hate using plastic, but I don't have time to run to the hardware store. So I might try to look around and see if I have something like that, that in theory, I could just kind of maybe mount onto the inside of this at about, you know, whatever height I want. And so that when I slip this down, the plastic in there stops it. And then that would be concealed up inside of Lucky. But so far, actually, this is turning out. I'm almost to the point of being able to decorate. So here is my piece, and it isn't terrible, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on a level surface, do wood glue, and then like tape it So, because if I leave it to its own devices, it wants to kind of lean. So I'm going to glue it and then tape it and then let it dry. But you can attach, obviously this is kind of like a one-of-a-kind thing. It isn't like you can go to the store and buy exactly what I did. So I'm just showing you this as a general idea. Whatever supplies you find, hopefully this is helpful in figuring out how to make your horse. Okay, here is, it's hard to get when I'm filming horizontally, but here is my stand. Everything is nice and dry. I've designed this in a way that after the holidays, I can take Lucky off. I can just take the finial off and slide her up off of this. So however you decide to do it is up to you. I went and kind of went crazy at the dollar store and bought a whole bunch of things. After I get it mounted on here, I'm going to decorate it, and also in a way that if I want to switch this out, I could see possibly loaning this to like a children's party, making different outfits for it. So I'm going to decorate it off camera because I don't want this video to be 10 years long. But the next thing is I cut off a cup, this is probably about 2 inches. This is a really thick piece of cardboard that I think will work if I slide this. When I determine what height, I'll just kind of screw this to the wood on this pole, and then I'll be able to slip Lucky down over top of it. And in theory, this collar is going to catch on the plastic that is drilled. It's like about the same diameter. So it'll catch on that and hold it at the height that I want it. So here goes. I think that's going to work. I just want it to look about equidistant from the bottom to the underside of Lucky, and then from this part of the pole to the top of the finial. Let's give it a test though. And then that collar is going to be concealed inside. I thought I might have to like sew that up or whatever, or I was prepared to reinforce it, but actually that is going to work. I think what I'm going to do, I'm envisioning some kind of a pretty cape, and then that'll conceal these areas too. I had initially thought I wanted Lucky to show, but I think I'm going to create a cape maybe that like is here, and then something that drapes over, and it'll have to hide obviously that connection point. I hope this video inspires you to maybe pick up a horse that you see like this and repurpose it into something useful and beautiful. As always, I thank you for watching my channel. If you're not already a subscriber, I hope you'll hit that button. Also, look me up. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook as well. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.